Victor Osimhen, Alexander Isak, and Arsenal's urgent striker search. What's the latest? With the Premier League title race heating up, Mikel Arteta knows that the key to securing the crown may lie in the signing of a world-class forward. But with Fabrizio Romano dropping exclusive updates, we're left wondering, will Arsenal land a top target this January, or will they have to wait until the summer? Join us as we break down the latest transfer rumors, including the potential move for Osimhen, Isak's rising stock, and why Arsenal may be looking at other options in a crowded market. Stay tuned, because this transfer window is about to get wild. Victor Osimhen's rise to prominence has been nothing short of impressive. Over the last few seasons at Napoli, he's been a revelation. In the 2022 to 2023 season, he bagged an incredible 31 goals, helping Napoli secure their first Serie A title in 33 years. This season, Osimhen has continued his blistering form with 14 goals to his name. And let's not forget his role in Napoli's championship-winning season the year before, where he netted 17 goals. These numbers prove that Osimhen is a consistent goal scorer, and his physical attributes make him a nightmare for defenders. His pace, strength, and aerial ability are qualities that any club would love to have up front. But as impressive as his stats are, there's more to this transfer story than just numbers. As much as Osimhen's talent is undeniable, there are some concerns around his attitude that might make Arsenal think twice. Former Nigeria striker Peter Ige recently commented that Osimhen's behavior could be a red flag for some suitors. His temperament and discipline on and off the pitch have occasionally been questioned, and some believe it might be the reason top clubs are hesitant to move forward with him. Even more troubling, there have been instances where Osimhen's on-field demeanor has caused friction with managers. For example, Jose Mourinho has spoken out about Osimhen's attitude, calling it annoying during matches. Pundit Darren Bent has echoed similar concerns, warning that Osimhen's attitude issues could become a risk for Arsenal if they decide to make a move. With Arsenal in the middle of a title chase, the last thing they need is a disruptive force in the locker room, especially if those off-field issues spill onto the pitch. Given these concerns, Arsenal could be looking at other options in the market. One name that's been linked with the club is Dusan Vlahovic, Juventus's powerful striker. While Vlahovic did turn Arsenal down before, there's still hope that he might consider a move to the Premier League now, with his future in Turin uncertain. Another player who has caught Arsenal's eye is Benjamin Sesko, the young forward from RB Leipzig. Sesko has impressed scouts across Europe with his combination of size, skill, and scoring ability. He could be a great long-term solution to Arsenal's striker problem. Then there's Viktor Gyokeres, the Swedish forward currently playing for Sporting CP. Gyokeres has been in great form, and while he's not as high-profile as Osimhen or Vlahovic, his performances have drawn plenty attention. The question remains, though, can any of these strikers fill the void left by Jesus? They might be safer options, but there's no guarantee they'll adapt quickly to the Premier League or provide the same impact as a player like Osimhen could. The stakes are high for Arsenal this season. With the Premier League title still within reach, Mikel Arteta's side needs to find a reliable source of goals to keep pace with the likes of Manchester City. A proven goal scorer like Osimhen could be the final piece of the puzzle, but it's hard to ignore the risks associated with his attitude. If he doesn't live up to expectations, Arsenal could be left with a very expensive, disruptive player on their hands. That's why the club may lean towards safer alternatives like Vlahovic or Sesko, who, while still unproven in the Premier League, could offer more stability. And then there's Gyokeres, who could come in with less pressure but might take time to adjust. The reality is, every striker linked with Arsenal brings its own set of challenges. The Gunners have a big decision to make, and it could have a huge impact on their season. As Arsenal looks to strengthen their attack, the decision on who to sign could make or break their title ambitions. While Victor Osimhen remains an exciting option, his attitude concerns could be a stumbling block. On the other hand, alternative targets like Vlahovic, Sesko, and Gyokeres offer different sets of risks and rewards. The clock is ticking, and with Arsenal pushing for a Premier League title, the pressure to get this decision right has never been higher. Who do you think should be Arsenal's next center forward? The January transfer window is always a time of hope, speculation, and often frustration for fans and clubs alike. And for Arsenal, this window is no different. With a serious chance to claim the Premier League title this season, Mikel Arteta is fully aware that strengthening his squad in key areas is essential. But there's one position that Arsenal fans are eager to see bolstered. It's the striker role. While the team has been performing incredibly well, especially with the emergence of players like Bukayo Saka and Martin Odegaard, there's a sense that Arsenal could use an extra dose of firepower up front. Arsenal's attack has been a major strength this season, but Arteta has been vocal about the need for more options, especially with the likes of Gabriel Jesus still working his way back to full fitness after injury. Arsenal's attacking depth has been questioned in certain high-pressure situations, and with their title challenge in full swing, adding another proven goal scorer is a top priority. So, it's no surprise that Arsenal's been linked with several forwards, and one name that's generated a lot of buzz is Alexander Isak, Newcastle United's lethal striker. Now, let's take a closer look at why Isak is such an attractive target for Arsenal. The Swedish forward has been nothing short of sensational for Newcastle United. After joining the Magpies in 2022 for a hefty £63 million, Isak took a little time to settle in, but he's now well and truly hit his stride. This season, he's become one of the most clinical strikers in the Premier League. In his last 7 games, he scored an astonishing 9 goals. Isak isn't just a poacher, he's a complete striker. His pace, technical ability, and composure in front of goal have made him one of the most exciting talents in Europe. His link-up play with teammates is top-notch, and he's shown an ability to score a variety of goals, from headers to long-range strikes and neat finishes inside the box. It's no wonder that he's been a regular feature in transfer rumors. Arsenal needs someone who can not only find the back of the net, but also contribute to the overall play, and Isak fits that bill perfectly. His presence would provide Arsenal with the kind of attacking threat that can turn games in an instant. But Isak's form isn't just about stats, it's about timing. He's been instrumental in Newcastle's rise up the Premier League table, helping them secure a spot in the top 5. His goals have fired them up the standings, keeping them firmly in the hunt for European competition next season. So, it's clear, Isak is in the form of his life, and this is why Arsenal's interest is intensifying. Arsenal's interest in Alexander Isak is nothing new. In fact, this pursuit has been going on for quite some time. Mikel Arteta and Arsenal's recruitment team have had their eyes on Isak for years. The Swedish international has been a long-term target, even before his breakthrough performances in the Premier League this season. Arteta has often spoken about the importance of finding a striker who fits into his tactical system, someone who can play with the ball at their feet, link up play, and still be a clinical finisher. Isak ticks all those boxes. However, last summer was a different story. Arsenal's attempt to bring Isak to the Emirates was met with resistance from Newcastle. Despite reportedly offering 80 to 90 million euros for his services, the Magpies were resolute in their refusal to let him go. It's understandable, given that Isak had only just joined them and was seen as a key part of their long-term project. In a market where most clubs are unwilling to sell top players mid-season, Isak wasn't even close to being available. Arsenal, however, didn't drop their interest. They continued to monitor his progress at Newcastle, knowing that if they wanted to bring him in, they would need to wait for the right moment. That moment may have come this January, but as we'll see, it's not quite as simple as that. Enter Fabrizio Romano, the transfer expert, whose insights have become almost a stamp of confirmation in the football world. Romano has recently confirmed that Arsenal is still interested in Isak. However, despite the Gunners' continued admiration for the player, he believes that a move for Isak in January is highly unlikely. In an exclusive interview with 442, Romano shared his thoughts on the situation. Romano made it clear that Arsenal's interest is real, and Arteta and his team have not forgotten about Isak. But at the moment, there are no concrete negotiations between Arsenal and Newcastle. According to Romano, Newcastle is not looking to sell Isak in January, which means that any hopes of a mid-season transfer are, for now, dashed. Romano also touched on the fact that although Isak has been performing at an incredibly high level this season, Arsenal's interest in him predates his current run of form. The Gunners have always seen him as a top prospect, but convincing Newcastle to part with their star striker in the winter window is a whole different challenge. With no serious talks taking place right now, Romano believes that Isak could be a target for Arsenal when the summer transfer window opens. So, why exactly is a move for Isak so difficult this January? The answer is simple. Newcastle isn't interested in selling him right now. The club is flying high in the Premier League, sitting in 5th place, and their star striker has been a key part of that success. Isak's recent form, coupled with his ability to score in crucial moments, has made him nearly untouchable in this window. Newcastle's management knows that letting him go would be a huge blow to their ambitions for the season, and they're simply not in a position where they want to entertain offers. Another factor is Isak's contract. He signed a long-term deal with Newcastle in 2022, which runs until 2027-28. This gives the club even more leverage in negotiations. They have no reason to sell him in the middle of season, especially when they're competing for European spots. The financial investment made in Isak, £63 million, is also something Newcastle will want to protect. They'll only entertain offers for their star man if it's absolutely necessary, and as of now, they're not looking to sell. But don't count Isak out of the picture entirely just yet. While the chances of a move this month are slim, Romano suggests that the Swedish striker could be a target for Arsenal when the summer transfer window rolls around. If Arsenal still sees him as a priority, and if Newcastle's ambitions change by the summer, there could be a window of opportunity. But for now, Isak's future at Newcastle looks secure. The summer could provide a fresh opportunity for Arsenal to make a serious move for Isak. The situation will be different by then. Newcastle might be more open to negotiations if they've achieved their goals for the season, or perhaps they'll be more inclined to cash in on a player who's risen in value even further. But for now, fans will need to keep their fingers crossed and hope that Isak's future does, in fact, involve a move to the Emirates. While Isak remains a long-term target, Arsenal can't afford to wait around if they want to add a striker in January. According to Romano, Arsenal is still exploring the market for alternatives, although no concrete talks are happening just yet. One name that has been linked to Arsenal is Victor Gyokeres, the Coventry City forward who's been in excellent form in the Championship. But as Romano points out, signing players like Gyokeres isn't going to be cheap. If Arsenal wants someone of his caliber, they'll have to splash out. Ultimately, whether it's Gyokeres, Isak, or someone else entirely, Arsenal's need for a new striker is clear. Arteta and the recruitment team are actively looking for the right player to bring in this month, but finding someone who fits the bill and is available in the winter window won't be easy. If no immediate deals come to fruition, we could see more movement in the summer. With Arsenal sitting comfortably in 2nd place, 6 points behind Liverpool, the urgency for reinforcements has never been higher. The Gunners are in the thick of a title race, and any new signing could make all the difference in their pursuit of the Premier League crown. With key fixtures on the horizon, including the North London Derby against Tottenham and an FA Cup clash with Manchester United, Arsenal can't afford to wait too long to get that extra edge. The pressure is on Arteta to keep his squad fresh and motivated, and adding a player like Isak could provide the spark needed to keep pushing for the title. The fact that Arsenal is still competing on multiple fronts, domestic cups in Europe, makes this transfer window even more crucial. Arteta knows that if Arsenal is to stay in the hunt for silverware, he needs to keep strengthening the squad, and a striker is top of that list. To wrap things up, while Arsenal's pursuit of Alexander Isak is definitely one to watch, the reality is that a move in January seems unlikely. Newcastle is firmly holding on to their star striker, and unless something drastic happens, Isak's name will be one to follow in the summer. Arsenal, however, isn't resting on their laurels. The search for a new striker is ongoing, and with Arteta and the recruitment team working behind the scenes, there could still be a surprise signing before the window closes. So, Gunners fans, stay tuned. There's still plenty of action to come, and who knows what twists and turns this transfer window might bring. For now, it's all about keeping the faith, staying patient, and hoping that the right move is just around the corner. Thanks for tuning in, and make sure to subscribe for all the latest Arsenal transfer updates.